Hello everyone, you're welcome to Kema Freak. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this corset jumpsuit. It is off shoulder, it has a unique sleeve and pleated cuffs with inbuilt boning. If you're interested in this, please keep watching. My name is Kemi Omorugbe. First, I'll be starting with the bodies. Now you need your basic bodies block. If you haven't watched the tutorial on how to draft a basic bodies block, please go and check it out, then come back and join us. I'll be altering these bodies right now to create my off-shoulder corset pattern. First, you need to decide on the neck depth you want for your corset. I made use of 5.5 inches for this because I'm working with a small size, okay, and I don't want the neckline to be too deep. Next, on the bust line, I marked ½ an inch inward, then drew a straight line downward. Next, I'll be creating a shoulder dart or a shoulder style line. So I measured my shoulder width and marked the center. Then I connected it to the bust point, okay, to create our shoulder dart. Now I need to tighten this shoulder dart along our off-shoulder neckline, and I tightened by ½ an inch on both sides. I am creating a sweetheart off-shoulder neckline, so at the center front I need to deepen the neckline a little bit. I made use of just 2 inches inward, and so I connected my initial ½ an inch, okay, I know you understand what I mean. I connected it back to that point and marked it horizontally. So from this point I'm going to connect it to the shoulder dart tightening we created initially and extend it beyond that, okay. Just follow my step right here. So having done this, I need to create a little detail along this neckline towards the armhole. So I decided to clean off the initial armhole, I mean the one with the basic bodies, okay, because I don't make use of that armhole for off shoulders, okay, just so you can see it more clearly, okay. I don't want the lines overriding each other. Remember the upper chest line we created at first? I made sure that I moved inward by 1 inch, then connected it to the new neckline and created the new armhole, off shoulder armhole, which shouldn't be deep, it should just be slightly curvy, okay. So we have that. You can modify yours as you please. Actually, this is just me being creative with this. Next, I'll be tightening the underbust and the waistline. I made use of 1 inch on both sides of the dart line, okay, not the dart leg, okay. I measured from the dart line 1 inch on both sides, and I'll be connecting the waistline to the underbust line from this point. It's now time to connect these 2 points to the bust line. Just make sure that you're making use of a curve. We don't want anything sharp on this point, so I'm just blending it using my curve. So my basic bodies block already had the 1 inch dart factored in. Because I have expanded this dart to 2 inches, that means I need to add additional 1 inch on the side of the waistline, and that's what I did right there. Now I'll be cutting off this pattern slightly just so I can slash the dart leg and close up the waist dart. So this dart will be going off. We are going to be cutting off this dart I just shaded. It's now time to create the base of the cup. So I'm using my curve to connect the center front part of the bust line to the under bust line, just so we have it all curving out nicely like so. And I will then slash through my dart and close up the waist dart the bust dart, so that I can properly create the right side of the cup with my darts closed. Having done that, I'll mark 1.5 inch inward from the side of this pattern, because that will be like the end of my cup, okay. You don't want your cup extending into the side of the outfit. So I marked 1.5 inches inward, and I'm connecting it to the underbust line like so to create the base of the cup at the side. Now this is nicely done. Before I continue, I'll close up my shoulder dart, okay, the new shoulder that we created, just so I can blend that line properly. After closing it up, you realize that it's no longer aligns properly, so I'll just secure it, then use my pencil and ruler to redraw that line so that we can have a straight continuation right there. You can also make use of a curve. I am actually making use of a curve, not a ruler. I need to measure the width of the neckline. That's from the center front to the armhole, and I got 5 inches. You need to write this value down somewhere so that you don't forget it. It will come in handy when you're drafting the back pattern. Don't forget to label your patterns so that you don't mix them up. Remember that the cup of this corset will be plated, so you can either make use of this dart opening you have here to create pleats and add fullness to the cup, or you can slash through and give it more fullness and create more pleats than this dart width can give you. So I will be adding a little bit more to this opening just so my cup pleats look fuller than it will have been, okay, without the opening. So from the bust point, I slash to the top of the cup, and I'll just cut it till I have like 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch. I won't cut through, just so it is wide enough. And once I get the fullness I need, you can make it as full as you want. I'll spread a little bit, place it on another paper, and cut out the new pattern for the cup. So I think I spread by about 1 inch along the bust line, okay. If you're measuring the spread along the bust line, I have like 1.5 an inch thereabout. I connected the two dart legs together for this cup, and I'll just cut out my new pattern, and this is what we'll be transferring to fabric when we are transferring our patterns. Now here are the patterns for our front bodies. Now to the back pattern of this corset. Once again, we are making use of our basic bodice block for the back, and this is the pattern. First, I'll be marking out the upper chest line like we did for the front pattern. I made use of 5.5 inches, right? I'll do same for the back bodice and draw out our upper chest line. That's done. Secondly, I am cleaning off the armhole that came with my basic bodice block. As you know already that we didn't use it for the front, neither are we going to be using it for the back as well. And again, we don't even need the zip allowance because we are making use of loops. You can check out my channel on methods of corset closure. Remember that the neck width for the front was 5 inches, right? So I just marked 5 inches from the center back towards the armhole, and I use that to create the new off-shoulder armhole. Next, I'll be extending the darts, and I won't be tightening the upper chest line for the back because that 2 inches already kind of is enough for the back, okay? As for the darts, we're going to be cutting it off and recreating the style line. I'll tell you the reason later. Now it's time to create the back opening and the pattern for the modesty panel. So at the waistline, I'll be marking 1.5 inch or inches inward, and at the neckline I'll mark 2.5 inches inward. I just want like a slightly slanted back opening. Okay, you can make yours straight, that's the same value up and down, no problem. So I'll be attaching an extra piece of paper to this pattern just so I can create my modesty panel. So for the width of the modesty panel, you need to get it to cover the entire back opening. So remember that we marked 2.5 inches at the top, so I'm just going to make sure that my modesty panel at the top is at least twice of that. So I marked 5 inches. Okay, and I'll just square it down to connect to the waistline. There we have our modesty panel. Now we have these 3 pattern pieces for the back. I'll tape this back, thereby closing the dark line, because I want to recreate the style line for the back. This is the modesty panel, by the way, and this is the main back bodies. So I'm just going to draw another line to create a style line for our boning, just because I feel the initial dark line is too close to the modesty panel. It doesn't look that flattering. So we have another set of 2 pieces for the bodies, the back bodies. So I'll be transferring this to fabric and adding the necessary seam allowances. For each of the papers, I'll be adding 1/2 inch all round, except for the side. Okay, the side seams, I'll be making use of 1 inch side seam allowance. The center front is put on fold. You can cut the center front as 2 separate pieces rather than it being on fold. Here are all the pieces for the front bodies. Once again, I have 1/2 inch everywhere except for the side, and for the center piece it is on fold. I have 1/2 inch at the top, the cup side and the base or the hem, and for the cup 1/2 inch all around. Okay, I have also notched the 2 dark legs so that I will know the the width of fabric that I have for my pleats. For each of these, I went ahead to cut a lining and to iron in a fusible interfacing on the fabric. You can also add interfacing to the lining as well, but I didn't do that for mine. For the back as well, while transferring the pattern to fabric, I added 1/2 inch everywhere except for the side. The side seam has 1 inch side seam allowance. Now we are moving on to the sleeve. I have a piece of paper here which is just wide enough for my sleeve. On fold, I made use of a width of 16 inches for this sleeve. Because I'm making an exaggerated sleeve, I'm not following the exact pattern I would have used for a regular off-shoulder sleeve. You can check out the tutorial on how to draft an off-shoulder bodice and sleeve pattern on my YouTube channel. Okay, now for the length of this sleeve, I made use of 21 inches. Okay, now let's come back to the upper part of our bodies that we cut off. You measure the distance between the upper chest line and the chest line. Mine was 2.5 inches, and I'll mark that out on my paper. Or you can just use this part of the pattern and place it on the paper and cut out that curve. That way you have the exact same curve you have on the bodies on the sleeve as well. Having done that, I measured 2.5 inches downward and drew out the bicep line for this off-shoulder sleeve. Like I mentioned, this is really not necessary like that. So I just took out that pattern, okay, and used it to create my curve on the sleeve. And we'll be cutting out our pattern. We have a pattern for our sleeve. This is our sleeve on fold. Okay, so this side of the sleeve will actually be folded on the fabric. So I'll be transferring this to fabric, adding the necessary allowances, and we are good to go. Now I'm making use of this net fabric. It has like shiny details, and I will also be layering it with a plain veil net just to give it some more volume and, you know, beauty. Now let's move on to the trouser pattern. If you haven't watched the video on how we got here, please go ahead and watch it. This is our basic trouser pattern. It has both the front and the back represented here. So I'll go ahead and trace one of it to another paper, and we'll modify this slightly to create a pleated palazzo trouser. So on my new pattern, this is for the back. I marked out the band as shown in the video, okay, I shared earlier on. I marked out the band, and I'll be cutting out this band before we do any other alteration on the pattern. I made use of a 2 inches high band. Okay, now having done that, I opened up the rest of the dart, and from the apex of the dart I'll be drawing a straight line from that part of the dart to the hem of the trouser. But before doing that, I need to just cut out this pattern. Done that, here I'm going to be spreading these two pieces apart by just 4 inches. If you want it wider, you can go ahead and spread away. So I am just placing another paper under it and spreading by 4 inches. While doing that, you want to make sure that the knee line and the crotch line for each pieces are well arranged and they align together. So I am just taping down this pattern, reassessing my spread to be sure that I have 4 inches, and before cutting out I am closing the dart and I'll be blending it together just so we don't have any deficits along the waistline. Just blending it together and using my scissors to cut out the waistline so that when you pleat your fabric you won't have like a shortage along the waistline because you have put that into the cutting process. So I went ahead to, you know, cut out the band and the pockets for the front piece as well, and I will just repeat the same process I did for the back on the front pattern. Now once I'm done with this, that will be all for this pattern drafting tutorial. Please join us in the next video so that you can see how we eventually put all of these pieces together to create this gorgeous corset jumpsuit. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial so far. Let me know, drop a comment. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.